Okay, so we're talking about.
Why we do priorities, concerns, decision making?
It's part of that, I guess, more direct, endless question. I want to know, I want to reiterate, kind of tie everything up with a nice bow, that we've talked about priorities this whole time. And so what I'm hearing is that that entertainment space is really the priority, and that we do want to have that bedroom guest space, but really where we want to keep our focus is on this open gathering hang space. Is that right? Yeah. Oh, and I actually I forgot to tell you, please stop licking me, that we also have 12 pinball machines. It's a chance to kind of,
Could you work that into the design?
yeah, wrap everything up. Concerns, if we haven't had a real direct conversation about budget at this point, and it is something that's on their radar, oftentimes it'll come up when I ask them directly if they have concerns. Well, we had a construction project once, it went really bad, and it wound up, it was supposed to be a $30,000 kitchen remodel, and we wound up spending $55,000. Wow, okay. Gives me a chance to kind of reiterate on our guarantees and et cetera, and hopefully mitigate some of that stress for them. If budget is a really big concern, they'll bring it up there. And if we haven't had a chance to talk about it yet, we can dive into it.
Before you go any further, though, I think one thing that you highlighted really well with the priorities is, if I'm the homer, you just showed me that you're a good listener.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I think that's key for a new person, to reiterate that and be like, you said it perfectly, and we have it on video, that if I'm hearing you correctly, you really want a place where, the kids are watching movies and you can see what's going on while you're working out, whatever it is, you listen, you took good notes, and I think that's key.
And it pulls your brain away just from like that, oh, they want a bar, they want a bedroom, to that
Correct.
higher level of understanding. Okay,
Correct.
let me just
How's it
recap
going?
what's important to you again. That repetitive thing, and I do that a lot. I just repeat, and that's mostly for me so I can remember, but it also
For sure.
does show the
No,
client
it's both.
that you really have listened to them. And
You're
that
not
you
an
are gonna
order
be their
taker then.
advocate.
That order taker mentality is gone, and you're a good listener. It's collaborative.
And I think almost everybody has concern. Everyone knows that construction projects can be difficult sometimes. Like almost everybody has that conception, that perception, I think. So just getting, do you have any concerns that right off the bat? Let's talk about those if you do, because I want to make sure that we deal with it.
It gives me an opportunity to make sure that I have addressed everything that's going to be important for the client sitting in front of me. So when talking through YPI heavy and all of that, let's say I skimmed over or didn't really talk through as deep our process around how we come and go, and that we go through the window wells and our trade partners and et cetera. And during the concerns piece of a conversation, they're like, well, I'm concerned about security.
Right.
Oh, great, let's talk about that, because we do a really phenomenal job about making sure that we're protecting your space, and not just your space, but the people in your space. That's our number one concern, and here's how we go about doing that. And we come in and out through the window wells, and we'll put a lock at the top of the door, and we'll let you know if we do need to be in your main space to let an inspector in. We'll let you know ahead of time. It gives me an opportunity to make sure that I have really addressed everything with the client. And then decision-making factors is, if you've got somebody who is like, well, we're trying to figure out if we want to do this project or move.
Right.
Or do we do pop the top first before, or whatever it is? Like,
Right.
oh, that's another big project. Let's talk about that.
Right,
Yeah. It opens the door to anything else that could
right.
help you figure out what's best for them.
And do you ask what their decision-making factors are in choosing who they work with?
I ask that sometimes if I get the sense that if they mention, oh, you're the fifth person in here, if they're really talking
Yeah.
to a lot of people, I'm like, okay, well, when you're doing that, you have to have some guidelines, right? So what is important to you in making that decision?
That's
What are
I
like
say.
the top?
What's most
Yeah.
important to you in making
Yeah.
that decision,
Yeah.
and let
Yeah.
them talk.
Or just what are those deciding factors? I say it just like that a lot.
Cool.
I love that that's on the list because I feel like that's something we learned over time. It wasn't something that
Right.
was made clear to us when we first started.
Yeah, that's
That
not
you
the
need to
goal,
have an understanding of that. It's a deeper level,
for
and
sure.
it wasn't there. It took us a while to get there. So
It's something that I figured out and started applying a couple years ago when I read How to Find Out Anything from Anyone at Any Time.